Hey, it's Wrestling Hero Figs. We're going to be looking at Series 6 of the AEW Unrivaled series. Jack Hager, Chris Jericho, Pentagon Jr, Fenix, MJF, and Hikaru Shida, all available at ringside. Hit the link in the description below. Discount code HERO is going to save you 10%. Now we're going to look at the full series. We're going to get unboxed Jack Hager first and then work our way through the entire line. And I'm glad that this is now part officially of the collection. Prior, I had to improvise, dude. I had to use the old Mattel figgy. But luckily, Jazzwares has come through with the very first release of this. And look, it worked, but at the same time, we didn't have the correct tights. We had something going on with the beard, the hairstyle, all of that changed, but today's going to be the answer. Now, keep in mind that this one will be the chase, so if you're looking more of like a camo green look, that's going to be your best bet. Chris Jericho right here, he is going to be coming with the AEW title one more time. I know a little bit of the bubbly had come with it, regular release, so I think this is a total of 3 times that we've seen Jericho with the belt, and rightfully so. I mean, the man was kind of the one that had brought it right there into attention. He was kind of like that WWE guy that was grabbing all the eyes, bringing them over to AEW, making it happen right here in figgy form. For Pentagon Jr, they actually did change the style, not just like the actual like parts and hands that he does come with, but the actual listing of the title. If you look right here, we got Penta El Cero Miedo instead of Pentagon Jr. So they brought a little bit of Spanish to it all, and that's how you do it, man. With the bros, that's the only way that it's gonna work. So these two are coming hand in hand, working real well together. Really like the style of packaging. I know that the upcoming series will change from gold to the dark silver, so I'm definitely gonna miss it. I mean, it's not that it's gonna be discontinued, it will be a line in and of its own, but still pretty neat. For Jericho, he's got Moxley over here in the Lion's Tamer, and these are actually important gems for me. Like, this actually plays a pretty good place right there for Hero Figs' home. If you guys go on the channel, you can actually see the entire match in its entirety, live format right there. I think it's got over 1.5 million views, but yeah, we were there that night. We were recording it, and it was freaking epic. At the end of it all, Moxley ended up coming up to the crowd right next to me, literally right next to me, raised up the title up hand, put up the middle finger, and boy, man, was that night actually the last pay-per-view before it all had gone crap, right? Now, for Hager, this is also based off the same night, pretty sure, yes, 229 in Chicago. MJF, he is making the return, except no scarf on this one, but it's all good because we do have a slight representation within the actual wrist tape, so once we get this out, pretty cool. Now, for the last one right here, the third, I'm going to go ahead and call it number 3 because I believe, yeah, there was Brandy, and then there was, yeah, there's a total of, this is the 3rd woman that has been released in the figure line, and I know there's a lot of people like wondering like, bro, what's going on, man? I think there's like a total of 34 in all, so we definitely have the number to work down. First time in the lines are always welcome, so that's the one thing that I will point out from this series. We are getting a lot of well, not re-releases, but a lot of characters we've already seen in prior waves, so as far as like first time in the line execution, definitely slacking on that set, you guys. But that being said, I say we go ahead, get all these out of the package. We're going to take a closer look at the actual gear. Let's get it, my friends. All right, so here we have all 6 gents out of the package and the lady. And the first question you guys want to ask, does Hager suffer from AEW figgy syndrome? And is that a thing? Well, it's being right now, officially patented by Hero Figs, AEW figgy syndrome. What does that mean? How difficult is to get this man to stand? Well, it's just as difficult really as most of them. The leg work on these, that's always been my biggest thing, so really hope that they tune something out, whether it's the ankle pivot or the actual knee, and we will cover the points of articulation so you know exactly as to what you're getting at. Now, as far as accessories, the only other piece apart from the jacket will be 2 interchangeable hands. We will be getting 2 closed fists. The ones that are on the figure will be the 2 mic open. As far as the jacket, really, the only paint apps that you will see will be located on the bottom, wrapping all the way around, as well as on the shoulder piece. And the way that it's going to come together, it will be held by a Velcro located on the back and the hood. You can either put it up the way that we have it, or you can go ahead and execute it with the hood down. Once you do pull it off, you're actually going to notice a lot of plastic inside and underneath the shirt, and that is just to prevent any paint run from occurring. So pretty good part right there on behalf of Jazzwares. I already did remove it around the abdominal area, as well as on the arms. So we'll go ahead and address that in just a sec. Before we take it off, I want to show you the rest of the shorts right here, because we are going to be getting a little bit of attention right there around the waistline, coming right up front and then stopping right there on the back end. As far as the side, you will see very similar, identical paintwork, except instead of all that little textured Egyptian look that you're seeing up top, it's only going to be straight line on the side of the tights. And it will be determined too as to how you align it, is how all that will work out. So obviously if you have it straight, you're going to have that line work coming accordingly. As far as the knees, yeah, there's no knee pads on this man. The guy has always kind of kept it true right there to the old UFC days. After all, that's what it was based on, right? Man left WWE, tried out UFC, and then made his way back to where it should have been to begin with. Well, actually, it didn't exist then, so you really can't use that. For the boots, or the boot design, this is also going to be very similar to an UFC fighter, or like actual in-ring high school wrestling. That's going to be the style and look that we will get with the boots. Once we do take this off, I'm going to go and show you all the points of articulation, and like I said, I do have that old version that was released by Mattel, so we can do a head comparison, we can do a scale comparison, we can just do an overall comparison of whether Mattel did it better or if Jazzwares is coming out here with a home run. All right, scale-wise, I am seeing that the new one, it is pretty close. I mean, the AEW one has like a slight centimeter, maybe 2 on him, so as far as height, and it has to be because most of the AEW figures, they are slightly scaled up just a tad over the Mattel, especially when you're talking about width. Like if you look at this one, this guy has gone like on a full-on Jenny Craig diet. This man kind of lost it, and do keep in mind that he actually did end up losing some size when he went over to UFC. So as far as accuracy, it's all going to be based on what time and era we're talking about. The arms too, they are a little bit scaled up. These ones right here, I believe these are the traditional scale that were used pretty much on any figure that was not jacked up. So legs, yeah, you really can't go any further with it, because if you look below the knees, that's when the boot style changed. Obviously no knee pads. The scan right there, here it is. Here is Mattel. This is prior to the True FX, so I think right there alone, the new one is going to give it a better, like, true representation of what the man's beard and hairstyle looks like. Now, the style did change. Back in WWE, the man had it parted to the left. In AEW, he had it parted to the right, and I think that's just him taking a new direction with it all, man. After all, that's what you got to do, right? If you're part of the inner circle, 1, you got to make sure that you're ready. 2, you can't be leaving crap on the side. What the hell is going on with this man's cheek? So we got a little bit of adhesive going on, a little bit of QC. I might be able to rub that off somehow, but still not a really big issue or a problem. For the hair, you can see how it all comes right there down together towards the middle of the side. Really nice. We got the shorter hair reflecting right there with the clash of the bigger. Points of articulation, my friends, yes, we got to go ahead and cover that. I'll show you the back tattoo. That's really the only art piece that you will see on the rest of the scan. For the shoulders, they do go pretty far out. You are getting a full 360 on the bicep. As far as the elbow, full bend right there. You're getting the double hinged wrist articulation. You can move it forward. You can move it back. We cannot forget the other tat. Your face. You said you covered all the tattoos. Well, there you have it, my friend. Ab crunch right here. It is going to go pretty good. I mean, after all, it is Jazzwares. When it does move forward, actually, no, get out of here, dude. It's when you move it back when you get most of the point. And I know that doesn't make sense, the whole diaphragm, the way it meets. But you know what? I don't think anybody's going to be doing any German suplexes. For the waist, you can rotate that. You can also have a slight bend within the actual waistline in and of itself. The legs right here, you are able to bend them out pretty good out. For about this much far forward, yeah, really not all that much. This far back, upper thigh cut right there, as we did mention when we were covering the line work. The double hinge on the knees, calf rotation, it is still very much occurring, as well as the ankle pivot. Ranking, my friends, look, I'm going to tell you, maybe because it's the QC that we got going on right here, or maybe it's the way that, I don't know, dude, like Jericho is like one of few that I didn't have any issues with that, with getting in the stand. Like, you really got to mess around a little bit to truly get in the stand, and once we do, man, it's going to be a blessing. I don't even want to mess with the arms. Once I finally got in the stand, we ain't fighting. I'm going to give him an 8.7. Really happy to see the vest. Would be nice to get my hands on the chase, but you know what? This is definitely going to do right there for the Figgy roster until we come across it. Jericho, since we are talking about you, might as well bring you up to par. And as we mentioned, dude, Hero Fix is right there. I would say about halfway through up the rampway. Jericho, dude, it was just overall, it was a good match, man. I enjoyed it. I think this figure is paying some really good memories accessories to the old Hero Figs brain. And does it work? Look, yes, it would have been nice to get in a shirt. It would have been cool to get interchangeable hands. Like, this guy is the accessory, man. I know the accessory pack might make up for that once it does finally come out. So the fact that we only got the belt, and I know you're going to say, Hero Figs, don't forget about the scarf. I won't forget it, but still wanted a little bit more out of this figure. Every Jericho that we've gotten so far has delivered that. So the fact that they didn't do it with that, yeah, a little bit of a drawback. All right, so here's the belt. If you guys haven't seen the AEW title, there it is in its entirety. It is held together right there by plastic. The rubber meets together all right there, and all you got to do is insert it through the hole, and you can either put it around the waist, you can have them carry it around the shoulder, however you please, man. After all, if you are the champion, you get a little bit of say as to where this belt is going to be placed. The scarf, perfect. Love it. We could use this on so many different figures. They actually did capitalize all the font right there of Le Champion, right? We said it right here. Fix got it right. You can pull it off. You can keep it on. If you do pull it off, just know it's not going to be as easy. I think you actually might, yeah, you're going to have to go ahead and actually pull off the actual scan in order to get the scarf removed. So I'll still do it for you, so that way you guys can see as to what's going on underneath. So it does meet. I know that the WWE Mattel figures, they were cut off right there, and they were basically being held together just by the way that it would sit on their flush. This wraps all the way around, truly like a scarf. So if you were curious, like, how does the skin look with the scarf? There you go. You got him screaming. Dude's pretty jacked. He is on a WHF Figgy unboxing review. We missed you, buddy. I missed you too, Jericho. I know it was a long week for a lot of you, but don't worry, man. Slowly but surely, we're going to get back into the algorithm. YouTube will be like, all right, my buddy, you are here. You came back. You ain't never leaving. That's true, man. That's one thing you got to know about the WHF fam. Every now and then, we might have to take a little break, but damn well know that we're going to make a return. Jericho always knows. Man's always been there. There's the tight design. This is actually kind of reminding me a little bit of the Seth Rollins gear that he did wear. I know that the WWE Fan Takeover for the Amazon exclusive did have a very similar line work going on right there. Belt, it is molded. It's not just painted on. Knee pads. I'm not going to cover the rest as far as like the actual points of articulation. You've already seen several, so if you do want to find out, go on the channel, check it out. I will do a heads comparison with one of his earlier releases. This one, obviously, dude, oh man, this is really, okay, once you put it alongside, like, I was really pleased to see this one the way that it was put out, but seeing this, like, I don't know what it is, whether it's the screen, the way that we're getting the expression, but as far as likeness, oh my gosh, you guys, completely day and night with it. Hairstyle too, right on the money. Look at the way that the hair meets all together, almost like a lion's, hair piece right there, the way that he's got it coming all the way down to the shoulder line. All the rubber bands too were there just to mainly hold the title in place. I mean, you technically don't need these because the belt already sits on there pretty flush, but as far as like an overall ranking, I feel really comfortable right there giving this man an 8, and it's mainly due to the lack of accessories. You guys already know how I feel about my figgy accessories when it comes to Jericho. MJF, let's talk about Mr. MJF, because I do have the older one right here. For those that are wondering, like, bro, I already got the other one. What about the new one? How is it going to do? Paint apps, even though this one did have like a darker skin tone, it is still going to be slightly different from this one over here. This one has more of a tan. This one has more of like, what would you guys call this? Like, I don't know, like a Cody Rhodes. No, actually not even Cody Rhodes, but more of like the Miz, like skin tone. I think that's going to be the best bet, coming to that right there with the actual color of it all. The tattoo, it is going to be slightly different. That's one thing I did notice. If you look at this one, this has more of a fade going on. This kind of has more of like a true tattoo, like 3 years later look. This kind of has like a fresh look to it all. So I don't know, man. I do prefer the tattoo on this one for sure. Skin tone, it's going to be the newer one, but the way the tattoo came out on this, definitely looking a lot better. As far as like the actual wrist straps, you are going to get a little bit of the scarf look, like the older version that we did get with that. Not an actual scarf on the man as the accessory, so some must have happened along with Series 6. Like, yo, all right, Jeremy, what are we doing for this one? Well, we already did MJF in the prior series. We can't throw in the scarf. Why not? Because, man, you already got it. People, what if people didn't get it, right? What if people want to go ahead and bring it just the way that you're seeing it right here, and Hero Fix is bringing it to you. Likeness 2 on the head scan, not seeing any differences. Same hairstyle, same smirk. The beard, really, that's the only thing. We got a clean cut shape on this one. So if you're more of a man that likes the beard, this is going to be the figgy for you. For the microphone, we've already seen this. If you guys haven't checked this out, I'll go ahead and give you a quick close look. You got the AEW All Elite logo right up front on really all four corners, and that's really where it all stops. You will see that the handle piece right there, you can easily insert it into any character if you do have the mic open. So promo, the man's always ready, right? You got to be ready. If you're MJF, we got the elbow pad on the left for the tight design. I don't know, man. I still, the red, you guys know, I love my red. So the fact that it's just like a flat black finish, this one for sure, without a doubt. Same design too. It's only going to be the primary color that's going to be the difference between the two. The knee pads too. So if you look at this one, you're going to get some of the scarf look design on the back. This, just solid black. Now the boots, so every single figgy in its own right has its own style and its own benefits. So one, you might be missing like a design. It's not that it's missing, but you guys know what I'm saying. And the other part will go ahead and follow with that. I think as a ranking, I still feel, I'm telling you, a lot of these figures are going to fall within the 8 category. I really can't say really much past it. I mean, the scarf is definitely important. Side tattoo, it is located right there. So again, if you guys didn't see the review on that, it is going to also have the same paint apps as the right shoulder. So as far as the tint, it is going to be slightly darker. The biggest thing that I got to point out from this is the fact that they actually included the ring. So really nice to see that, not just with the actual closed fist hand, but the one that we're getting on Hero Fix, not with the mic open. It's only the closed fist. That's the only way he kisses it. But yeah, these are going to be the interchangeable hands that you will get with the figure right there. Pentagon Jr., probably one of my favorites from the series. I know that the last one was really good, and I was really curious as to how they were going to do it. Well, I'll tell you what. This, for sure, the molding, the way that they sculpted the whole chest piece on the Nero one, it's something we should have seen with the prior. I mean, yes, we got it with this, but it's not as pronounced. Something about like the way that this was all sculpted, completely different. And maybe due to the paint apps, they might be giving it that effect. But truly, when you do look down right like at the abdominal area, that's where you guys are going to notice most of like the texture being added to the newer one. So it's not that I'm crazy. It's just me really looking past the actual outline work of it all. Tattoos, very similar. No paint apps as far as like what we saw right there with MJF. For the mask, I love the mask. I like the way that it ended up coming out, especially the side dragon on the left side. All this gold, it's transmitting really well, especially the way that the eyes and the mouthpiece is coming through. I mean, I always do like expressions, so don't get me wrong, this one looks really good, but the way that the chin comes out on this one, solid. As far as like the actual scarf piece right here, it is a 2-piece set. It is not adhered to the figure, so you can move it around. Points of articulation, same piece right there. So a lot of these will have the exact same reused pieces, except it's going to be the way that the overall design ended up coming out. For the knee pads right there, really good work with the gold, like that. Like the way that it continues with the rest of the kick pad with the whole side design right there. It's just beautiful as an overall piece. Very bright, very colorful, absolute must right there. I'm giving him a damn 9.3. For Phoenix, on the other hand, that's going to go ahead and that's truly going to come down to as to once you put him alongside with the older version. And as far as standing, probably my least favorite when it comes to the whole ankle pivot and the way that you maneuver. I mean, I really had to struggle to get this man to stand. I'm just going to go ahead and play it out for you. All right, so I already started about 2 seconds ago, maybe because I already predetermined. But you know what I'm saying, dude? Like, really getting this man to get any kind of, like, straight vanilla pose, you can't do it. And you know what? It's all good because when it comes to Phoenix, the man doesn't vanilla pose. As far as the head scan, I'm going to go ahead and bring it up real close so you guys can get a good idea as to what you're going to be getting with the newer version. So, repainted app, right? We got the gold versus the white. We have the screaming versus the smile. Tattoos, obviously on the newer one, same thing that we did see with the MJF, where it's getting more of like a brighter font with it also. As far as like the way the tattoo should look, I would say that this one for sure, really like the style. I mean, here's one thing that I want to throw out there. Keep in mind, a lot of these figures, very easy to interchange. Really, the only thing you got to do, my friend, is pop it off if you disagree with it. Let's say you prefer the tattoos on this one, right? Say, nah, Hero Figs, I like the way that the older ones were done. This is all you got to do, my friend. I mean, it's going to be a little bit loose on you, but that's all you got to do. So if you want to go ahead and put it back, how do we do it? So this is the older, there you go, here's the newer one. So for those that were curious, if you're just going to have them on the shelf, that's going to be your problem solver. But as far as tightness, yeah, this is going to be a lot tighter, the way that was all assembled and put together. As far as the tight design, you'll see that the rest of that will continue right there. Again, similar, but at the same time different. The older one did have more of a flame effect. This kind of has like the spirit bird, right? This is how he takes flight. Phoenix, he's been reborn. He's coming back with a little bit of cheetah print, which makes absolutely no sense. But you guys know what we're getting at. The great looking figure. I'm going to tell you, look, this one, why not? 8.6, 8.7. I know it's not the 9 that you guys were looking for. Maybe we will finally get it right there with Hikaru Shida. Is it going to be because of the belt? No. Is it going to be because of the scan? Probably. Is it going to be because it's red? You damn skip. That's the reason why we love it. Here's the AEW Women's title. If you guys haven't seen it on the prior figure release, we'll go ahead and bring it up so you guys can check it out. There's the AEW logo located right up front. Side plates right there. All that studded work. You'll get that all going on. The tights, I love them, man. The suspenders, definitely a piece that needed to be molded. I mean, if it was Mattel, I don't want to bash, but at the same time, like, they probably would have just painted. I've seen it one too many times. So the fact that Jazzwares leveled up and actually executed that accordingly, very nice. As far as like the gloves, liked what they did with that. They actually sculpted this as well too. The way that the nails were done up, the overall figure, man, I'm telling you, the highlights on the hair, the expression. I mean, expression itself, a little bit bland. I mean, we could have either gotten a smile in. I mean, she really doesn't smile, but you guys know I always love the expression. So having a bland and plain look, it is going to clash a little bit. All this plastic too, I didn't remove it off this one. I do got to mess around with it, but it doesn't necessarily have to stay on there. It's just to prevent all that rub from going down. As far as the skirt right here, it is going to go ahead and wrap all the way except on the front. You're going to have a slight cuff, but you will have the belt right there that will unite everything. Really great tooling, the way that they did that, the way that it all comes. Look, you can slip this off real easy, really no issues, but I mean, truly, you wanted to go down the way that it was done in the ring. That's the way that we're going to keep it. As far as the rest, really nice as far as the rest of the tights. I like how they did the yellow. You can see that this is also slightly elevated, so the tooling was done up right there within the actual strings of the calves. The boots, well, I don't know if we can call these boots. They are, wrestling in-ring gear, but the way that we got the toe divider, it's kind of like them toe socks, except instead of having each one individually, it's only two. I'm giving this a 9.8, man. Love the way she turned out as an overall set. Again, we could have gotten a lot of first time in the lines. We only got 2. There's still a lot of characters in the roster. As a set, some major improvements for sure within the head scan. The way that this Pentagon came out. Love the gold, the combination. It's like a gold emphasized series. So if you guys like gold, this is definitely your set. But give me your thoughts. Let me know how you guys feel about Jag Haggard. Do you guys think that the Mattel version was better? Do you guys think that Jazzwares definitely did it a whole lot better? I mean, for the head scan, obviously, but you guys know what we're getting at. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Come here, Pentagon.